Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Thanks for joining us here on News 8. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, we had such a nice weekend. People got outside. Meteorologist Evan Irani joining us after that wet week.
Right.
It was nice to see the sun.
It was.
Calm
we had to spend quite a bit of time at our baseball field trying to rake up all the wet spots.
Yeah.
So
the
it
mud
lingers.
was there.
The storm lingered
They got a little extra
on
workout in.
Yes,
in addition to the game. It was warming up quite a bit. We've watched as the pooling and ponding continues in just a couple spots around the county, just the remnants of what we saw last week. But boy, I mean, I was out in a t-shirt and shorts over the weekend at the beach. It was beautiful. 73 degrees by the coast, 81 inland this afternoon. So we're seeing those 80s come back to play across the valley floors. Clouds are not with us this morning. In fact, here's the sunrise view, 6:23, just about 20 minutes out from now. We'll get that sunset at 5:41. Coming up, we'll talk about what the rest of the week looks like. Seems like we'll be warming up even more as we head through the week. Ned and Eric.
All right, Evan, thank you for that. And now this morning, the U.S. State Department advising Americans not to travel to Mexico. Look at this. Violence has erupted in parts of western Mexico after the Mexican army killed the leader of a powerful drug cartel.
You're looking at video from Puerto Vallarta as well as Guadalajara and even car fires in Tijuana. In-person classes suspended at schools across Baja California today, as well as other states. News 8's Jenny Day live in San Ysidro following all these latest developments. Jenny?
Yeah, so many of us love Mexico right in our own backyard. Spring break travel also right around the corner. But violence really has increased following the killing of this top cartel member. So how these travel advisories work, there are 4 levels total, all ranging from exercise normal precaution to do not travel there. So really depending on where you are in Mexico, these warnings right now range from level 1 to level 4. The highest risk right now are places like Sinaloa, Guerrero, Michoacan, and Zacatecas, where our government has stated there's an increase in crimes like homicide, kidnapping, and robbery. Guanajuato, Jalisco, and for us right here in nearby Baja California, currently under a level 3, meaning reconsider travel. This is mostly for Mexicali, though, near El Centro. More touristy spots like Tijuana, Rosarito, and Ensenada do not have specific travel restrictions. The State Department says most homicides there are targeted and come from rival gangs fighting for control in our border areas as they aim to set up new routes for drug and human smuggling. There have been many reports, as you saw, roads being blocked, cars being set on fire. Also, flights in and out of Puerto Vallarta, where El Mencho was killed, have been canceled. Any and all Americans in Mexico right now are being asked to shelter in place today. Our government workers also told to halt any travel plans and work remotely. So as for level 2, that includes places like Mexico City, Quintana Roo, and Oaxaca, where you are encouraged to exercise increased caution. As for the states with the lowest level of crime right now across Mexico, that includes the Yucatan and Campeche. So again, this all comes as the head of a Mexican drug cartel, 59-year-old Nemesio Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, was killed.
Was one of the most significant actions undertaken in the history of drug trafficking, almost at the same level as Chapo Guzman.
Yeah, and you may remember El Chapo is serving a life sentence here in the U.S. In the meantime, the White House has confirmed today that they did provide U.S. intelligence to this operation in Mexico. We will certainly keep you posted on things across the border and let you know when these travel advisories are lifted. Reporting live in San Ysidro, Jenny Day, News 8.
Jenny, thank you so much. There's also unrest in Tijuana. Let's show that to you now. Take a look at these photos of cars on fire there.
Yeah, authorities saying 11 people were detained for several incidents yesterday. No injuries were reported, but 10 cars were damaged as well as 5 businesses. Authorities are asking the public to remain calm. And this morning, a powerful winter storm is hitting much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic with more than 40 million Americans currently under blizzard warnings. Multiple states, including New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts, have declared states of emergency with predictions of up to 1 to 2 feet of snow and possible coastal flooding. Let's take a live look at New York City.
Oh, wow.
This wintry wonderland here. A ban on non-essential travel is in place there as the city faces its first blizzard warning in nearly a decade.
Wow, look at all the people out.
Wow.
What are they doing walking right now?
Snowshoeing.
Wow.
For more coverage from our sister stations on the severe weather in the Northeast, you can download the CBS 8 app on your TV and watch for free. This morning, the storm is impacting travel, including here in San Diego. According to FlightAware, there are over 5,400 cancellations and over 900 delays across the U.S. today. At last check, there are 32 cancellations and 21 delays here in San Diego. There was also some confusion at airports over the weekend after TSA announced it was suspending the pre-check program due to the partial government shutdown, then quickly reversed course.
We'll see when we get in there.
They reversed it, so pre-check is still, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. This is great news.
However, while TSA PreCheck continues operating, Global Entry's trusted traveler program is indeed suspended. This morning, the 2026 California Democratic Convention is over. One big thing did not happen over the weekend.
News 8's Chris Grow live in studio to explain what that is and what all of this means. Chris, what can we expect now from the Democrats?
Some people may think that having a lot of choices is a good thing. You get to learn a little bit more about some more people. But in terms of politics, not so good because the Democratic Party unable to endorse one clear-cut candidate. In fact, in order for the Democratic Party to endorse someone, a candidate needs to get 60% of the votes that are cast by delegates. Well, the top vote getter was Congressman Eric Swalwell, and he only got 24% of the delegate vote. Former State Controller Betty Yee finished second with 17%, and former Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra finished third with 13% of the vote. But after that, candidates like Tom Steyer, who you saw there, Katie Porter, Tony Thurmond, Ian Calderon, finished with mostly single digits. Nearly 9% of delegates had no endorsements and no preference, so they did not cast a vote or they did not have preference. So what happens now? Well, some delegates we spoke with hope that those at the bottom of the list begin to drop out. That would, of course, consolidate support behind a handful of candidates or maybe even one or two. Here's what else we heard.
We're going to have to go through a little bit of a winnowing process. We can't have the top two Republicans sneak in by accident.
I will be supporting whoever it is that the party moves forward.
I will support the strongest candidate.
Now, we do want to clarify, San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, who jumped into the race a little bit late, was actually too late to be considered for an endorsement. That's why his name was not on the vote getters. The GOP convention will be held in April. The jungle primary will be held in June. And yes, as always with the jungle primary, there's a chance you could have two of the top vote getters be from the same party, either two Democrats or two Republicans. Netta?
All right, we will see. Thank you very much, Chris. This morning, someone in Escondido waking up $1.5 million richer. One ticket sold at Varso Gas on Escondido Boulevard matched 5 numbers, missing only the Powerball. No one won the jackpot, which means today's drawing climbs to an estimated $203 million.
I like it's around town, and I invite you guys to stop by and get your tickets. You never know if you're gonna hit or not, but it only takes one. You never know if you're gonna hit it or not, but take a chance.
The drawing is at 8 tonight. I was just saying, if it was me, I would actually still be here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a thrill to just know that that's coming soon.
I'm just trying to think of all my friends in Escondido right now. I got to call them all
I know.
up.
You know, I have an
Like, hey,
uncle.
pal.
I have an uncle that works in Escondido.
Yeah.
Let's see how he's doing today.
Seriously.
A lot of families on my son's baseball team. I'll be calling all of you just to check in,
I
see how you're
still
doing.
just never do any of the lotto tickets, and I'm like, I kind of want to start. Like, it sounds like so much fun.
If you've gotten this far, I don't know if you need to.
You can't win if you don't play it.
No, and my
true.
mom was the queen of like getting like the $10, like just the things that kind of keep you playing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
that's
love
how
the
they get
bid
you.
scratcher.
Yeah, like you don't get to quit your job, but
Right.
hey, you might be able to grab a coffee from Starbucks before you go. Current temperatures out the door are a little chilly out there. Ridge of high pressure building over the western U.S. right now, allowing for some cold overnight lows, but also some warm afternoon highs. It was a beautiful weekend that we just wrapped up. 55 though right now in Fallbrook, 47 in Encinitas. Ramona's in the 30s to start off the day, so a little chilly out there depending on where you're at. Wind speeds and wind directions are two things to know. So we'll watch as wind speeds pick up this afternoon. But while we're offshore right now with our wind gusts that's helping to keep those clouds off the coast, we're going to see those winds shift back onshore, that cool, moist air from over the ocean being pushed onto the shore. So that's why out by the water itself, we're trending generally in the 70s versus what we see inland, where we're easily making our way into the 80s. Satellite radar here showing that those clouds really have not moved in too much. There's a bit of that cloud development just over the water and then moving onto the coast as it stands right now. But rain chances are staying low throughout the week. We have a trough of low pressure that's going to move in by the upcoming weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There's a lot of confusion as to whether or not this will bring much moisture. It does not seem from any of the models that I'm looking at that this weekend is going to come in the form of any real rain for us, but it is likely to bring us a big increase in cloud cover and maybe even some morning fog out there, a little bit of a cool down in temperatures, but that's about all we get by the upcoming weekend. So we get to enjoy another dry week ahead. Vanessa Paz is with us this morning, back from vacation.
I know. I heard it rained. I heard it rained last week.
The whole
so I was
week.
like,
Yeah.
you know, I gotta go. I
It
gotta
missed
go.
you. San Diego
Yeah,
missed
I
you.
needed sunshine. So yeah, good to be back. And it looks like the weather is going to cooperate once again. This is the 5 in both directions rated Genesee. We switched from night vision to day vision. We're at a steady speed across our major freeways. This is the 5 in both directions right at Sassafras as you make your way to and from the International Airport. You're looking at a pretty smooth ride around the 8th freeway. As we couldn't zoom on in, we're still tracking this crash. This may slow things down for you a little bit as you're making your way in from Rainbow or Temecula, anywhere from Riverside County. What's plugging things up, it looks like the speeds are improving, which is good news as you step out the door today. As we go ahead and zoom on into some of your travel speeds, we're at 53 miles per hour as you cross onto Coronado Island, coming in from Barrio Logan in downtown this morning. As I mentioned, we're not looking at anything major in terms of slowing. We're averaging about 10 minutes or so as you make your way southbound in from Oceanside and Escondido on the 5 and the 15. If you're coming in from the East County, headed west, anywhere between 3 to 7 minutes, so still under 10 on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. All right, 6:12 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. 5 minutes right now to get you inbound from Otay Mesa's port of entry. Of course, this could be from the travel advisories that are in place. 30 minutes right now to get you across from San Ysidro's port of entry. So yeah, we are looking at light border wait times to say the least at last check.